So hey guys, it's Klaus. Hey, I'm in my IS-6, but really, who gives a shit? Seen a lot of IS-6 games, right? But you know what? It's something I've kind of been thinking about lately. It's kind of interesting. You know, when you're born, your universe is really small. You know, like when you're a baby, you're just a couple of hours old. Your universe is basically just that 1 or 2 foot area around your head. You know, you're kind of looking around and you don't really know what's going on. You hear a few sounds, and really your whole universe is just that 1 or 2 foot radius around your head. And you know, you'll see some things and you move your hands, kind of, you don't even know your hands, they're waving in front of you. The only thing you know is that if you see a breast, you latch onto it right away, right? That's about the only thing that you know. And as you get a little older, you know, you become a couple, 2, 3 months old, then your universe expands to more like the size of your crib, right? You know, the bars and the little dangly things that are hanging up above you. And a little while later, you get a little older and your universe becomes your room, right? Everything in your room, the walls, the door, you get a little older. When you're 2 or 3 years old, your universe expands, and you know, your backyard is part of your universe now, and you can run around, and you've got your favorite rocks and the tree you hide behind, and you know, things progress. Your universe becomes your neighborhood, and you have first time you go to school, your universe expands 4 blocks down the road. There's all these interesting new things. And then your universe keeps expanding, despite what you know, what my aunt used to say. Tried to tell her this story, explaining how the universe is expanding as you grow old, and she said, "You live in Brooklyn. Brooklyn's not expanding." Well, anyway, when you get to your 20s and 30s, you know, your universe expands so much that it's basically the whole planet is your universe. Everything. You're at the peak. For some lucky people, the universe actually expands beyond Earth. And you know, we've traveled to the moon, and we've explored. And those are the years, man, when the universe has expanded to its maximum, and it's a different size for different people. I think for people that have ambition or are a little smarter than the typical types, your universe is very large, right? For some people that are a little bit more timid, a little more tentative, or maybe a little bit stupider, their universe stays a little smaller for their whole life. And you know, they're the type of people that you suggest, hey, let's go on a trip to Australia and go to the west side of Australia for a month and do some surfing. And you know, they'll look at you and go, oh, that's way on the other side of the. You know how far that is? Probably have to take 2 or 3 planes you have to transfer to. No. Let's. Why don't we just, you know, go camping to that spot? It's only an hour drive, and we've gone there 15 years in a row, and we really like it there, and we've got the trailer. You know, everyone's got their different, let's call it their different radius. Everyone's got a different radius in their universe. We expand to a certain point, and that's the maximum, and different people have different radiuses that they get to. For some, the radius is all the way to the fucking moon, right? George Armstrong, or what was his name, Lance? George? Whatever, the fucking guy went all the way there. He's the guy that had the biggest radius, universe, out of all humans, right? And then there's some that you know, spend all their time in the same town that they've been born in and have never been anywhere. And that's their radius. Their maximum universe is, you know, 20 miles. Right? They've made it all the way to Mama Luigi's Bagel Shop on 5th Street. That's as far as they've ever been. But you know, then what happens starts happening when you, I don't know, for some people when they reach their 40s, some 50s, some 60s or 70s, slowly your universe starts shrinking a little bit, right? And it gets, well, you know, Yeah, I remember we used to love to go down to Australia and surf, but boy, that's far, and we don't go there anymore. You know, I can't sit through a flight that long anymore. My feet start swelling, and last time we went after the flight, my back hurt for 2 weeks, and it ruined the trip. And so your universe, the radius starts getting. Now we just go down to Florida. It's closer, and I mean, we don't surf anymore, but the water's nice. And, you know, they've got the all-you-can-eat at on the corner there that we go to. We have dinner there. If you get there before 5 o'clock, you get a $5 discount, and you can eat all you want, and the portions are, yeah, it's great. And on and on. The radius starts getting smaller and smaller, and then eventually you might get an injury, or you might develop a syndrome or some sort of thing that you don't particularly like, and your universe the radius gets smaller and smaller, becomes your town again. And yeah, we used to like to travel, but we stick close to home now because we like it when the grandkids come to visit, and oh boy, we sure like having a barbecue in the back when we get the whole family together again, right? And they get smaller and smaller. Eventually, heaven forbid, things get a little bit worse, and you start getting sick, and you might have to go to the hospital, and then your universe all of a sudden becomes, you get cured and you go home, but you got to stay home. So it's your backyard again. That's the radius. Your radius is now 100 yards. And then eventually, you know, when you get moved into the hospital near the end there, your universe becomes your room again. And if you decline and you're hanging on there, you're hanging on, but things are getting worse and worse, and eventually your universe radius becomes 3 or 4 feet again, and it keeps shrinking until it's just that area around your head, you know, the last few days when you're lying there, and you're really not really knowing what's going on unless someone really leans in close and says, "Hey, Pops, it's your son, you remember, Pops?" And you just look up, and you can only see your universe is now only 1 or 2 feet again, and then finally, at the end, you kind of get back to where you started. The universe is only about a foot and a half, right? And you don't really understand anything. You don't know what's going on, and really, if the nurse gets close and you see some breasts, you might want to latch on them again, and you realize you're back to the beginning. And yeah, it's fucking strange the way that works. I just want to share that with you. I think that's how it goes. And yeah, weird, eh? Isn't that weird? Fucking weird shit you get to watch on this channel.